Does that make a difference for you, Sam?
Okay, now it says live.
No, dude, you just.
Is that just whoever's talking?
And he used to run a radio show.
Yeah. He used to be on a radio show. I don't know. At this point, I'm skeptical whether he ran the show.
I don't really know what else it could be, so I'm just looking for any little excuse, really.
Oh, I can force Jeff's video on if I want to.
It might just be that my computer is like 2009 and I don't receive any sort of updates for it anymore.
That is
not Google. I don't get any Google updates because my operating system is no longer supported by Google.
You want?
Can you use your phone hack, Sammy?
Yeah, I should have it the Hangout thing installed now.
All right. Does anybody need me for anything here before we get started? I mean, I think Sam will probably need some help, but
try to force that one, Woody.
You'll be surprised at the control I have over your room, Jeff. Are you the objects? Is everything gone inverted? The colors in your room? I'm gonna turn down the resolution. It's gonna probably cause you to have some body dysmorphia.
Please do turn down the resolution because I've been running a little slow lately. Hopefully it'll let me buffer faster.
If the sun This is my favorite part.
Well, his computer audio isn't coming through for some reason. Like it doesn't play when we're talking, and so he gets on his phone and he has his phone in just audio mode, so it'll so it just is a speaker basically.
It looks like his phone is a camera too.
Yeah, it will be for a while. He's trying to set it up, I think.
Well, this is trippy. I can kind of hear you, Sam. What's going on, dude?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can.
I can hear you on my phone.
Nice.
I muted the one thing because of the feedback.
Who's Woody? Which one's Woody? Oh, that's Woody?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was Andy for some reason.
That's Andy.
That's Andy? I thought that was Woody.
Who I am. I'm
Now
Woody.
she does.
Don't fucking confuse me. Y'all already have beards. That's just enough.
Fergus and I are cousins.
This is my partner, Brenna, by the way.
Hello.
Hello.
What's the name?
Brenna?
Brenna. Hi there. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
I think Sam and Ferguson met her before, and then Sam met her during Christmas. So, and yeah, we're hanging out. Just gonna give it a burger.
Sweet. Where's the burger joint?
It's called Blackwater. It's a punk bar. They have all vegan food.
Yeah, it's a vegan punk
Okay.
dive, not too far from here. I forget that place exists. Brenna's learning how to play D&D. We're running a 3.5 game. I think I've told you a little bit about it, where it's all set in a grocery store.
Yeah, somebody told me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have.
I think Sam told me, or Fergus maybe told me a little about it, and then maybe you did as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's played about like 3 or 4 sessions now.
Right on.
And is getting pretty good hang of it.
3.5. 3.5 will always have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, it has a special place in my heart, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid.
It's a terrible system, yeah. It's like it's really good for certain things. I think it's good for like, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it's good for. I think it's good for little boys who like need certain structure and like certain ability to like do that. What's it called? Where like you do the synergy of it and like you make the combos and you make a powerful character. Munchkin is definitely one word for that, but that's not what I was thinking of. It's basically it's good for that. It's very satisfying on that level, but it's not the best for like storytelling, and it's not the best for like real like it entices you to be like over invested in the power of your character. I feel like and like
It's it also makes like this is something that I remember happening a lot when we were in high school was this feeling that everyone was getting there are people who would get way too attached to the rules of the game rather than the play of the game.
Yes.
And so the rule structure in 3.5 is extremely critical. Where it's like, oh well, if you want to bull rush, it's this. But if you want to like,
it's extremely awkward and like way too like involved, basically.
Yeah.
And that's good. Like, and so, it's like I feel like it's informed by video games and like MMORPGs. Even then, like that, like I don't know. I didn't get into the whole 4th edition thing, and I'm glad I didn't. But
I've heard 4th edition was even worse.
Oh yeah, I've heard 4th edition was garbage. Basically, it just exacerbated all the stuff that was bad about 3.5.
Yeah, and it also like made some weird choices of like every class is a spellcaster class.
Yeah, definitely. Which is kind of really a little bit of what I'm doing in this game, but I haven't I haven't really figured out any of the mechanics yet, the stuff that I was hoping to figure out. And so it's just going to kind of come as it comes. And maybe we can kind of work with it a little bit. It's, yeah, anyways. What the hell is Sam doing? Oh,
we're all just putting our phones at the screen, I guess.
Can you hear me, Sammy?
Who's missing?
The girl in Arkansas.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. It looks like she ran away with a man when she's 16.
Hey, Sam.
Shit.
And they're dating or something, but he's like a man.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's the shape of your character in? Do you have a name?
Yeah.
I want to get this game started here. We got everybody here. We got everybody going.
I'm ready. I've got my character all set up, so.
What's their name, Jeffy?
Matt Maldan.
What's my base AC?
It's Langdon Alger.
I love you. You're a goof. God, you're a fucking nerd.
I was trying to think of what's a good elf name that doesn't sound like too...
Elfie?
Yeah.
Racist.
Well, Langdon Alger was just the name that sounded best, so...
Digging this dual Sam vision. I like it.
Yeah, I can never get enough Sam vision.
Two different... Oh, where's he looking at?
Hey Sam, can we get a behind view? I just get the whole 360.
Sam, camera 2, please.
Alright, you dudes let me know when you're ready to go here.
I'm not.
I'm gonna work on my shit.
Oh, I think they have vegan mozzarella sticks at Blackwater.
Fucking yeah, they do. Shit, I'm gonna eat garbage right here. Oh, you didn't cover your cameras. Alright, I'm gonna go upstairs.
Sam, what's my armor class?
10.
I don't know how to do this. Is it 10? 10 plus
your armor
what?
class, it's 10 plus your dexterity plus your plus whatever actual armor you have that gives you.
I don't think I have any armor.
So Andy, you've got a leather jacket with some like metal splints sewn into it, so that's gonna give you at least some armor. We can divide right now what that's going to be.
10 extra armor. It's a
No.
really good leather jacket.
Let's say it's going to give you another +2.
Dude, I already wrote it. I don't have a pen, bro. 15.
And you already wrote +10? Is that what you're saying?
No, I only have a pen. I don't have a pencil. I can't just erase what I've written. Everything is permanent.
If you have a pen, you should have whiteout, dude. You should be responsible about that.
I'm tattooing this on my arm as we go. I don't want any mistakes.
I'm stick and poking this shit, dude. I'm committed to this.
All right, did I pick one of those feats on a list?
Yeah, pick like 3 of them.
Which ones?
Whichever, or pick none of them. Pick whatever sounds good to you, man.
Mage Killer.
No meta magic feats. I would say do like, what weapon are you using?
Mage Slayer again. And then Mage Slayer a third time. Mobile. There we go. Mobile.
What weapon are you using?
Skills. What weapon do I have?
What weapon do you want to have? You got a sword. You got like a little like rapier or like a little short sword.
Sounds like me.
Oh. Or like a Bowie knife. Let's see. Yeah, you got like a cutlass.
That sounds a Bowie knife cutlass?
You're getting that customer and that person, and who would have you can
Alright, I'm going to have to turn on the State of the Union, guys. Let's see what we got here.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's the big night, bro.
Is there a State of the Union address tonight? Don't listen to that. That's not important.
It's shit. It sucks.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
Are you working on your character?
Yeah. I'm trying to find all that shit you sent me over email. I can't find like anything.
Oh, I can resend it to you.
I'm waiting for the State of the Confederacy address up next.
Oh.
Look at all these fucking white people. Jeez.
Did you find it, Sam?
I guess the first stuff you sent me is under Woodruff bow arrow. For some reason, I have a bunch of emails from you as Woody, but.
Well, I was just going
I
to
have a
tell
bunch
you,
of emails
Sam.
from Woody, but I can't fucking understand them.
I was just going to tell you, Sam, that your character has a little boat, like a little rowboat skiff, and you're currently going downriver in that boat. And you're taking one passenger, which is Jeff's character, and you've got 3 crates full of goods that you're presumably going to sell or trade or whatever. And so we can kind of talk about what goods you got in there. And we can figure that out. But that's like something that you own. It is a possession of yours. And then I was going to suggest that your character had a history of being a chain worker, basically who would do repair and maintenance on Somnium engines.
Oh, okay.
And then also have some Somnium transmutation magic, basically some practice in the ability to change Somnium into other materials.
Is the boat I'm in right now, does that have some sort of Omnium engine in it?
No, it's just got a rowboat. You're not that rich, basically.
Okay.
You don't even have a sail for it. You just have oars, basically. But it definitely could have a Somnium engine down the line, but that's
Woody, which one had? Oh, never mind.
Do you need some more assistance, Andy? I know you probably haven't built a lot of characters, and I'm sorry I haven't been much help there.
I kind of just need a cold snack right now.
Nice.
Down in one, down in one, down in one.
Ready, say,
Hi. Okay.
Hey Woody, what languages are in this world? Do you have any ideas besides like common, elf, human, or not human?
Let's say that there's common, which would be like the human language, the most common language spoken. Um, let's say that there's a like goblinoid language.
Uh-huh.
Let's say that there's also like abyssal or a demonic, language.
Okay.
And then let's give like one language to like the kind of indigenous like nomadic peoples, even though they probably like speak a lot of different dialects of that language, so there might be like language barrier. And then let's give the elves their own language too, some kind of highborn speak.
Cool. What about can there be like a high common, like a language that only the rich nobles speak?
Yeah, I think that would just be like more dialectic than
Okay.
anything, but yeah, I guess I'm not feeling that entirely.
Okay.
But if you were like elf and you spoke, it might be a mark of like sophistication for a human to be able to speak, the elvish language, basically.
Right. Well, I am elvish, and I also have like
I am
a lot of-
elvish.
I'm elvish. I'm elf, and I have a lot of.
I'm a elvish.
I turned the program.
Sorry, Jeff. What were you saying?
One of the feats that I wanted to take allows you to make ciphers, but it also gives you 3 more languages. But I already have a high intelligence that like gives me enough languages, and I'm like, there's not enough languages in this world.
Yeah, no,
But-
not yet. I think like put one in reserve, and when we have role playing opportunity, we'll just say that you speak that language.
Cool. I'm gonna keep. Let's see. Okay, cool. I get 2 more languages on reserve. So I guess I'll just be like, I can learn that language at a certain point.
Yeah, I think that works.
If the opportunity comes to learn it, okay?
I just don't have the world fleshed out enough to know really yet, and
Yeah, for sure.
we'll get there. We'll kind of do a little metagaming there.
This cipher thing sounds really fun though, to be able
What's
to
the deal
create
with it?
like.
Tell me about it.
Like basically, you're able to like write a secret code, and unless you teach someone that code, it's a DC of your intelligence level plus your proficiency bonus to be able to crack it.
Huh.
So, for those of us who know how to read and write, we could like write down information that's coded. So I was thinking it could be kind of cool if my book of secrets,
Oh,
like
right.
of town lore, et cetera, was written in my own cipher.
I'm into that. That's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah.
So that other people couldn't read it.
So other people couldn't read it unless I taught them how to.
Okay. I like that. Okay. Well, how are we doing? Who needs what here?
Woody,
Yeah.
how did you want us to roll our stats?
Well, how did you do it, Jeff?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I have a 5th edition app, but the app allows for different ways. I just did the 3d6 or roll 46, add 3 of them together.
I'm not extremely concerned with it, Sam, as far as the balance thing goes. If you want to do it really simply, I would say just choose a strong stat without a +4, and then a weak stat at a -1, and then the rest can be +2. If you want to kind of fudge it around from there, just let me know. Just run it past me, basically. If you want to do a point buy, I have a link that I shared earlier that I can reshare that does a point buy.
I'll just do it that real simple way you just stated. You said you'll have a +3, a +1, and everything else.
A +4 on a +4 on a strong stat, a -1 on a weak stat, and a +2 on everything else.
Okay, and I mean it's still. Are you still going by? You're still going by like the regular like stat. Like would those all be even numbers then? Or
yeah, basically I was just not concerning myself with derivative math for this, where what I mean by that is that one stat's an 18, one is a 9, and then the others are 14. But instead of somebody had pointed out to me that there's not a lot of like really useful in-game purpose to making a derivative math of an 18 equals +2. It just is a +2. Don't concern yourself with
Yeah, but I mean, if we put on enough, then that it matters for when you get ability points, right? Or are you not adding it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you however you want to do it, man, I'll just assume that they're even, basically, unless it's a your -1. I'll assume it's an 8 as well. Yeah, so we'll just assume that they're even.
Hey, how do I figure out my armor class? Is that a class-based thing?
Oh, come on, man!
Did you say, Fergus?
It's 10 plus your dexterity modifier plus any actual armor you have.
Okay.
How much armor does my leather armor give me, Woody?
It'll give you a +2.
We discussed that too.
Yeah. Actually, Andy, let's say it gives you a +3 because there's armor on your boots too. So let's say it's a +3.
Is everyone wearing armor or not?
No characters are heavily armored. Jeff's character has a breastplate, basically, like a solid piece on his chest, and then otherwise is unarmored. Andy's character basically has enhanced leather armor, and your character is, at least by going by the miniature, is unarmored. But if you
did you say I had a Bowie knife or a sword? I forgot which one that you had.
Whichever one you like. Your miniature has a sword.
Bowie knife, bro. Obviously. Jeez.
So I just won't be having armor to start off with. I don't think it just doesn't really make sense to me.
I think you've got a big wool coat on, Fergus. If you want to take a +1 armor from that, then I'm comfortable with that. But if it doesn't fit your concept, then that's fine too.
Yeah, I'll give myself a +1 then.
Yeah, we'll say that we've got a heavy leather coat with whatever, something underneath it that's got a little bit of armor to it. You can figure out the details of that.
All right. I think 14. Okay with that.
Jesse, do you want me to order something for you?
At Blackwater?
Yeah.
No, let's have a leftover soup.
Okay.
Okay. What kind of possessions have you got, Jeff?
I've got an explorer's pack, which I imagine would have things in it like flint and something to like an easy fire starter, like a bedroll.
Do you have any wealth, any gold?
I do. I've got 5 gold pieces right now, but I could imagine it could be a little bit more considering
let's
my
give you
lot in life.
Yeah, let's give you another 15 gold pieces, and I also want to give you a like surveyor's transit or transom. I don't know what they're called, but basically a set of
What does that mean?
Surveyor's tools.
Cool.
So you'll have like a not similar really to the thing that your other character had, but you'll have basically a tool with a lens and a string and whatever. It can be kind of ambiguous, but the tools by which you do your trade as a surveyor.
Probably like a sort of small, rudimentary version of like a spyglass.
Yeah, and then you'll also have like a little dangling, like a plumb bob type thing that you can find your So it'll be a little cool.
I can create some tools.
And then basically, I've got these characters a little bit in the wrong spot. Because we're not going to have Andy's character start out there. We're going to have your character start there.
Oh, he went away.
I'm here.
Oh, would it be reasonable if I had like a bear trap or something?
You do hate animals. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
How about some snare, like some snare wire?
Cool. I'll do snare wire, and also caltrops. Okay.
Yes, caltrops are okay. If you're like a ranger wandering the Veltlands, caltrops would be especially handy for large game. Let's say that you've got like 2 or 3 considerable sized caltrops. Maybe they are even like kind of collapsible.
Yeah, like with interlocking parts.
So
that they collapse down to sort of like a flat shuriken type thing, and then you can push them together, and they come up and they pyramid to push against each other.
Yeah, I like that. I'm almost picturing them just like pretty crude, but they they're like that basically makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's just like a couple pieces of iron that slide together. I don't imagine anything more than just more complex than your
you've just got like a big pack with you, right? That's got your stuff in it.
Yeah, it's a big backpack.
And so you're on this little boat, and you're basically taking, I don't know what Sam's character's name is, but you're taking his little ferry service to this little barony along the river, basically.
Oh, it's a little ferry service, huh?
Your little ferry
boys ferry service.
Ferry.
Right.
And let's secretly toss 1 piece of somnium into your possessions there. What is your character's name again?
Mine? Langdon. Langdon Alger.
Mr. Alger.
Mr. Alger.
And I kind of picture the elves and the Elvish language as being kind of like basically British. I don't know if that's consistent for you. Yeah, your character kind of has a British accent.
I mean, I imagine him to be sort of a colonial, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I could have painted 3 miniatures already tonight. Should have just been painting while I was doing this. I have some people to add to the landscape. Who am I waiting on here? What do you guys need? Let me help you out.
I'm all set. I'm done.
Sammy? Fergus?
I'm all set.
Fergus is set. Andy, what do you need, man?
I don't know what stuff I have with me. I just equipment-wise.
Okay, well, you are going to be on site already. You are in the Reinhardt Public House. I think the reason why you came there is ambiguous, but you are maybe either on the run or you're headed to somewhere, like maybe making your way back to the City of Bridges. But you just, ran out of money somewhere remote. I don't know. I mean, basically, are you shying away from your country boy or city boy? Which, what are you thinking?
He's not a city boy.
He's not a city boy, okay.
He's a country boy.
Well, I think then, perhaps, my best guess for kind of character concept is that you're our party's puller, so you're the one who can perform the extraction ritual. And basically, kind of regulated thing, and most of the people who can perform the ritual are associated with a religious or kind of political institution, like you would work for the government or you would work for the church basically, and you would have a very prescribed way that you perform your ritual. But there are some freelance kind of outsider pullers who have their own ritual, and basically it involves you using some little tool as a focus in order to pull somnium. So somebody might use a little mock gold pan, and they might pan for gold over somebody, and slowly as they focus on doing it, it would cause a somnium to appear. Another person might use a lens to kind of focus and pretend it's not a pretend, but it's a ritual. It's they might slowly focus their lens until they see a piece of somnium. Somebody else might sweep it up, but typically, do you know what a mandala is, Andy?
Yeah.
So a somnium puller will have two focus objects. One is a mandala, which is usually a bowl or a plate or a pan, and they'll put that over the body of a sleeping person, and then they'll use another focus tool to kind of crystallize the somnium, and that could be a little brush that would sweep up the somnium into a pile, or it just kind of depends on your character's background.
I'm thinking he blows a tobacco smoke in the air, and that somehow discovers the individual pieces of somnium in some sort of way.
So it kind of blows smoke over a dusty old plate or something, an old brass plate.
Yeah, a cigar, stubby cigar.
A cigar? Okay, so we could say that your focus object is a cigar, and then what is your mandala object? It's got to be kind of a vessel, an open vessel, but it could even be a blanket or something.
Something flat-ish.
A mirror, maybe?
Mirror.
But something basically kind of flat. So you think about that. And then your character's also aware that some places you go would be very your skill is simultaneously coveted and
is it something regulated. You're born with?
I think that there are you're kind of inherently either a somnium puller or not, but not everybody who could do it even is ever trained in it, kind of force powers, you kind of have to train to be a Jedi, but you might be force sensitive. So in this case, you have probably kind of homebrewed this, although you might have had a mentor or something. And you also you could decide this, but you might have previously had affiliation with an organization. You might have at one time been a priest, or you might have worked as a personal puller for, a baron or or it could have been more underground than that. It could have been more criminal, basically, but...
Okay.
Yeah. It's not necessarily something you want to advertise that you're able to do necessarily, but if the right people are looking for you, it can be an extremely lucrative, profession, because it's involving somnium. If you get basically paid in somnium, depending on how much you can pull, it's a pretty legit thing. Do you have some details or some info on your character? You still working on it? We'll go around the table in a second as we introduce characters here. And okay, Jeff.
I'm back.
Let me look at my little. book real quick here because I was going to see if there's any Somnium ability mechanics that we should hash out for you before we start, Jeff.
Sure, yeah. I feel like mine could either be anything that would do to like bending nature to my will. So like talk to animals, command animal,
kind of
like
domination.
Yeah,
magic.
like of like nature, or if we wanted to go in the city direction, because he also deals with nobles. It could be like charm, whatever.
Okay.
You know? But
I've started going through the 5e spell list and picking some spells that would adapt well to this, and one of them was Minor Illusion. There was also Command, which is basically like... Oh, Entangle was one I also had.
Yeah, Entangle would be a good one.
Maybe we could do... Because the thing about these spells is that they're pretty powerful, even if you're not like a powerful practitioner, but they're pretty costly because, you know, Somnium is the equivalent of 10 gold pieces, but it's really more rare than that. Like, you'd probably be lucky if you could find a place that would give you the exchange rate of 10 gold pieces for... If you could definitely get 10 gold pieces for a piece of Somnium. You couldn't always get a piece of Somnium for 10 gold pieces, if that makes sense.
Sure.
The exchange rate is not favorable when you're converting from, you know, normal trade goods to Somnium. It's very favorable the other way around.
Yeah.
And somebody like Sam's character, who's a transmuter, they can use Somnium to repair things, and they can also pretty easily make mundane materials out of Somnium. But, you know, it doesn't go the other way around. So he could easily turn, you know, a piece of Somnium into 10 little sack of 10 pieces of gold, but he couldn't turn it back, you know. And he could even do some more sophisticated things than that.
Nice.
Are you still kind of going with the like lucky guy kind of character concept there, Sam?
Yeah, my name's Jerry Duster.
What is it, Jerry Duster?
Jerry Duster, like code.
Jerry Duster. Okay. So basically, I don't want to like overload you with too many like of these kind of abilities. So we'll say that you've got some like Somnium crafting skills. So take some ranks in like a chance like Somnium crafting or whatever.
Are you talking to me, Woody?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll give you a Somnium transmutation ability so that you can, change raw Somnium into other materials.
Okay.
And then you've got one spell that's basically equivalent to guidance. And so you can use a piece of Somnium you can basically cast it on yourself or on another person. And if you use it, then that person or yourself, whoever the target is, will get to add a d6 to their next check, basically. So like if they were going to try to like lift something, do like a strength check, you could give them, it basically gives them like a little extra boost.
And that's taking a piece of Somnium?
Yeah, for a d6. And then I'm going to look up what the command spell does here real quick for 5e.
One word command is creature within range.
Yeah, I think we do that for you, Jeff. We do like a one-word command, and we'll give the creature or person a will save. But
yeah.
You could also use it on like a natural object to have effect like entangle or whatever. And so if you're using it on like an unintelligent living thing, we'll say that it doesn't really get a wisdom or a will save. So like you could command grass to like grow around somebody's feet or like something like that. You could command fish to like jump out of the water. And that wouldn't really, there would be no resistance. But if you're going to try to use it on a person, then they might get a save to protect against that.
Sure. So like, is it kind of like with where like if you have an intelligence below 3, then you're considered like an animal or plant or something?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, awesome. I have soup in the microwave. I'll be right back.
Sure. And Fergus?
Yeah.
Your heal spell can be on yourself. So basically, this is going to be the opposite of like a basic grenade ability for like using Somnium. So basically, somebody who's proficient, and that's basically anybody could do this. I would think. The aggressive part of it, they could kind of cook a piece of Somnium and then throw it and cause it to explode. And so what you could do is kind of the opposite. You could use it to heal something, or you could even heal somebody remotely, but you have to hit them with it, accurately to do it, So basically, it's a heal spell if you're in touch range, or it's a thrown, it's like a heal grenade, but you could miss it potentially,
Uh-huh. What does it heal for?
2d6, we'll say. 2d6 heal, and then we'll go ahead and give you the aggressive ability too. We'll give you ability of a 2d6, destructive ability.
Okay.
And I think it's fair to say that basically anybody could do that. If that gets unbalanced later, I might take it back, but for now, basically anybody could touch, attack, throw a piece of Somnium for 2d6 explosive fire damage.
What was that?
I was just going to say that I think at this point, I might take this back at some point. So, I might break the canon later on if I find that this is not working. But for now, everybody has the ability to use Somnium like a grenade weapon, basically with a touch attack for 2d6 damage. And then anybody who's carrying Somnium, like Somnium's a volatile material, so potentially there would be, if you were, around, I don't know, there are ways in which you could, set off your own Somnium cache if you had one.
So would I have to throw the potion, or am I just throwing Somnium?
If you've got a potion, then you just can drink it like a potion, and you might be able to use Somnium to make like several potions. Your little potions that you have are not as potent. They don't do D6. They're going to do like a D4 damage of healing. But you might be able to use a single piece of Somnium to make like 4 potions or whatever,
Okay.
And I think it'll probably be a roll to see how well you do on that. And then, for the healing, if you have actual Somnium, then you can just like directly heal. But you don't have any Somnium. You have some of these potions, but you don't have any Somnium. Sam, you've also got your special relic, which we can talk about.
Woody, did you say 1d6 for the potion?
1d4 for the potion.
Okay.
These healing potions you make, they're not very strong.
That's what you think, dude.
That's what you think, dude.
You haven't even tried it, man.
I mean, a strong one, all you have is, no shit. Hey, where's that bowl actually? I want to take a little tug on it. Thank you. Sam, can I talk to you about your little relic?
Sure.
You've got like basically partially assembled hand. It's maybe got like one finger on it, or like, I don't know, maybe just a finger. But you've got this little piece of a shaker, a somnambulant dead person. And it's in your little wrap, and it's what you use to witch out, sources of Somnium, basically. And it's always going to point, basically, if you kind of summon it and focus on it, it's always going to point in the direction of the most Somnium that's nearby, basically.
Okay.
So it's like a little zombie hand?
Yeah, it's like a little zombie finger, basically.
Monkey's paw.
Yeah, and it'll seeks out Somnium. What's up?
Was there a name for that?
You can just call it a shaker digit, or like a witchy stick or something.
Okay.
I don't have a particular name for that. It's something of your own contrivance. You can come up with your backstory of it, but these very rare but like horrifying creatures are the Hollow Men or the Shakers. They're these like Somnium zombies basically, and you at some point claim this artifact to help you in sourcing out your Somnium.
More zombies than you could shake a shaky stick at.
I expect that it looks something like this.
Are you gonna share screen with us right now? Oh, that's weird. I have 2 of these windows up now. I guess I already had a couple of these windows open.
Oh, weird. This is already in my...
It says you purchased this on May 5th?
Oh, look at that. Weird. I already have a review of this. Huh.
What is this? What are you talking about?
All right, so how are we doing, guys? What do we need here? We ready to get this game going?
I'm ready. If you don't mind me eating some soup.
Okay, I don't mind you eating some soup. So basically, whoa. What's all that about? Don't do that.
Oh.
Cut that out.
Whoa.
Stop. I will silence you. I will
How do I
eject
stop
you.
it? I don't know how to stop it.
You're done.
I don't know how to stop it.
Okay, folks. Oh, so wait, before we start here, I just want to kind of talk about role-playing strategies and like how I want to run this game, because I don't want to treat this... Sam, knock it off. I don't want to treat this like a thing that your characters are like railroaded through. Like, I want this to be largely sandbox. I'm going to kind of provide you guys props in a setting, but I expect you guys to be the actors, and the story is really about you, and you are creating the story as much as I am, because the drama and the responses and the motivations, they all come from you guys. I just want to keep that in mind, that I want this to be a very co-creational thing. And from time to time, I will... oh, shit. Sorry, Andy. From time to time, I will call out a role-playing kind of prompt. One of them including, I have this little minute timer here. Whoop. I don't know if you can see that. But basically, if your character has a monologue moment, I will flip the timer, and for the full duration of that, you'll be doing something in character, like basically you might just be doing kind of a Shakespearean aside, where you could picture it almost like from The Office, where they do the talking heads. Like, this is like, oh, this is what this character was thinking at this time, or like, here's something that they're interested in. Really, it's just improv, so it's like you just have to talk for a minute, whatever you're saying, just like don't stop and let it be kind of stream of consciousness and whatever. So there's kind of a table of things that I might ask. I might have your character give us a flashback of what's happening now, how it affected you sometime in the past, how it reminds you of something that happened to you in the past. You might have to engage with another character for dialogue for that time. You might have to shout off a one-liner, just some kind of catchphrase type thing. And yeah, I'll just prompt you for that. But does everybody have an alignment?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounded like a lot of yes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, with that, I think I'll go ahead and start things off. Our scene opens on a broad river as it floats downstream, and 2 silent men are slowly making their way downriver in a small craft, loaded heavy with trade goods. Piloting the craft by manipulation of twin oars is this little gentleman here, and I'll let him introduce his character. Sammy?
Is that me?
That's you.
Oh, this is Jerry Duster. He's an old Somnium prospector that hit it rich one time, but he lost it all in the Somnium casinos.
All right.
And ever since then, he's been looking to regain his fortune.
If he had a catchphrase, what would his catchphrase be?
Catchphrase would be, that's the ticket.
That's the ticket. All right, and having paid some small coin to be transported on this little boat is another figure who, Jeff, go ahead and describe and tell us about your guy there.
Langdon Alger, socialite, land surveyor. I'm good in the woods and good in the courtroom. I've come to the Veldt lands in order to survey land buying for a potential client from the homelands. But while I'm here, I'm picking up a few other odd jobs in order to make money.
And Langdon is headed downriver to meet with the Baron Julius Gladwell in his little barony along the Great River. And Sam, what's your guy's name?
Jerry Duster.
Okay, that's right, Jerry Duster and Langdon. Okay, so these guys are making their way downriver, and as you make your way along, I'm setting a minute timer here, and you guys are nearing your destination. So go ahead and have your exchange.
Can you ease this boat into harbor a little smoother?
Are we getting to the destination, or are we leaving?
You're almost to your destination. You're minutes away from your turnout, so to speak, along a tributary that would take you to the Reinhardt Public House.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna have your dialogue here for. Just go ahead, in character dialogue.
This entire trek has been a mess. I could have steered this boat better than you have. You almost made me sick 3 times, and I almost fell in once.
That would have been fortunate.
I'm sure you would have thought it to be. But when the swift hand of the law comes down on you, and I can assure you it will, you won't be laughing then.
Or like my swift dick on your mom.
So what's your story, friend? What do you want out of life? Is this all you want, is to steer your little boat?
Oh, one of these days you'll get yours.
Roll a perception check, Langdon.
Shit. Sorry, don't have my dice ready. There's 20. 14.
You see a little signpost in the river up ahead, and there's a little rock jutting out and a little wooden sign attached to it. And you said a 14?
Yeah.
And you see, it looks like something is written on this little plank.
Pull up here. There's a sign.
Jerry, what's make your check there?
All right. What am I adding to this?
Perception, so it's wisdom.
I got an 11.
All right, so you see there's a sign, but you can't read it. And as you get closer, Langdon, you see that there's this little carefully placed sign, and it's kind of scribbled over with all this charcoal. It had something written on it, but someone's come and just like kind of blacked it out, so you can't read what it says. And as you pass this strange sign, all of a sudden, Jerry, you feel the boat churn, and all of a sudden the current has picked up significantly here, and all of a sudden you feel your boat accelerating here.
Oh my God!
What'd that sign say? Boatswain, what'd that sign say?
I don't know. I can barely read as this?
What's your action? What are you gonna do, Jerry?
I'm trying to get the boat under. I guess just to halt the boat, really.
Okay, so go ahead and make some kind of dexterity or strength-based check here. Yeah, you could use either stat to try to. You're just gonna try to stop the boat from, its forward progress.
Okay, I got a 14.
You got a what?
14.
Okay, so you pull hard on your oars, you rip back, and you can feel the water churning around your paddles as you kind of rip forward. And as you do so, you see ahead that something's coming into your vision, and you both see some rocks basically ahead coming up quickly, and on the rocks. Oh, hold on here. I gotta switch my window over. You see a set of rocks that are kind of have a little water churning in front of them as the current kind of diverts from the main part of the river, and it kind of shoots off into a little tributary, and you can tell that this is your tributary that you're going to use to get off onto the Reinhardt Public House, and the boat starts to kind of careen here in towards the rocks as you're trying to break it. And since you guys both had a pretty good perception check, you also see that up on top of this rock there's a little platform and a staging area for kind of a makeshift lighthouse. It's just an open brazier with a big flame. But as you see up ahead, these two little figures are pushing this brazier over the edge, and it plunks into the water, and bloop, it basically disappears. And it looks like it was a little warning signal for kind of a treacherous part of the river. So I'm gonna let both make a check again to see if you can kind of, if you choose to assist him, Langdon, make a check to see if you can get this boat under control before it crashes into these rocks in this little, eddy here.
Yeah, I do. I as soon as I realize that it's not quite, that the current's not quite what he can handle, I hop up and I push him over towards one oar, and I say, "I'll take this one," and I try to handle one oar myself.
So you each kind of grab an oar with both hands, and you try to kind of do a hard break, and one of you falls the other way to kind of round this bend. And go ahead and both make a dexterity check here. Dexterity or strength, whichever is your better.
Oh, great. Cool. I got a 22.
I got a 15.
All right, you guys succeed. Go ahead and act it out and tell me what you do as you come whipping in kind of off the main street of the river, and you get spat out into this tributary.
Don't drop that oar yet. We're not clear yet.
You don't think I know that? I've handled many more boats than you have. Woo!
All right, Mr. City Slicker.
Okay, and as you guys round the corner here, you see what appear to be the impish forms of two little goblins up on this platform. And they've obviously sabotaged the normal means of warning for this kind of risky river. And as they see you successfully navigate this little pinch, they kind of fuck you, get out of here! And they kind of turn around and they...
I'm going to say to them in Goblinoid, hey, that was city property. What do you think you're doing?
Okay. They, basically, you hear some mixed epithets that, have to do with defiling your mother and, they don't care about the city, that kind of thing. And you see them leap off from this rock and they splash and kind of disappear. They swim off somewhere. The ruffians. And so you come careening around this edge. Are you just going to pull things into the dock? Are you going to continue?
That's what I'm going to try to do with my oar, and I'm going to tell Duster over here to do the same.
Yeah, that's the ticket. Let's get this boat stopped.
Okay, so you skillfully maneuver this boat, and with the two of you, you come in and you pull into this small dock. And Langdon, you have already been availing yourself of this material, but you know that you're headed to the Reinhardt Public House, which is a waypoint along the Great River as you near the city of Bridges. And this little mill and kind of trading, it's almost like a trading post on the water. This place is where travelers on the Great River can stop off and get a warm place to stay, or they can, acquire some trade goods and perhaps even kind of trade up along the way. There's not a real city here, but there is this kind of sizable trading little post or port along the river, and there is a collection of, a verified instance of some small barley farms and a logging camp. These are the industries that are kind of centered around this area. And you know that the Baron that lays claim to this settlement is Baron Julius Gladwell, though there's not much about him in the entry. So you have arrived at Reinhardt's public house. And as you pull into the docks here, you see a small company of armed guards, as well as a more pedestrian-looking individual, are sort of waiting by the docks.
I'm gonna, before the boat's even tied down, I'm stepping off the boat and making my way towards the public house.
Hey, don't you owe me money for that ride?
Remember, son, you'll get yours. Then I scamper off.
Okay, so I guess you didn't pay for your boat ride, so you just walk across here. You hop off. And Jerry, what are you doing?
Well, is that cargo? Does that belong to me?
That belongs to you.
It does belong to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So do you have any set gear that you already, kind of established for yourself?
A couple things. I got armor and a weapon and nothing too extensive though.
Okay, so we'll say that the gear is mystery stuff, and you'll find out what it is if you open it. And I have what it is for you.
Well, right now, I guess I just want to tie up the boat, and I'm probably gonna, I'll probably just check out what sort of gear I have.
Okay. So you jump off and you tie off the boat on one of these little mooring things, and you check and see that your cargo has made it safely along the river. You just have some basic trade goods with you. Let's pop open crate number 1 here, and that'll be your first turn, we'll say. So your first crate here has got a smallish barrel of some kind of ale. So you can write these down, Sam, and that's worth 5 gold pieces. You've also got 2 pounds of sugar in 2 separate sacks. That's worth 6 gold pieces. They're each worth 3 gold pieces, is what I mean.
So that's 2 bags of 2 pounds, or 2 pounds total?
Yeah, 2 bags that each have a pound of sugar.
And it's worth what?
6. Well, you don't know necessarily what it's worth, I'll say.
Okay.
Just have that stuff down, yeah. And then you've also got a pound of boxed tea as a trade good.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's in the barrel number 1 here. Okay, so Langdon hops off the dock and he is greeted by a small company of armored guards, and the guards sort of assemble at the arrival of this little boat, and it signals the attention of someone farther up on the wharf. and we see a somewhat flamboyant figure in front of a small cart with a brightly colored awning. And it is now the doctor's turn. What is your name?
So this is the doctor, Dr. Cumberbund Pettifogger.
And Dr. Cumberbund, you have a minute to do whatever you're going to do. Go for it. You can't stop talking, though.
Okay. Gather round, gather round. Take a swig of the good Dr. Pettifogger's magic elixir of rejuvenation.
Oh, wow, that sounds interesting.
Just kind of lift my coat and take a swig. There are signs that I can read on your face. You, sir, right there in the blue coat. Signs of age. What are you?
Oh, me?
What are you, maybe 43, 44 years old?
I'm just past my second decade, sir.
Well, there are lines around your eyes and around your mouth that you may not even know are there, but they make you look older. Now, women that you meet, friends, old friends you haven't seen for a while, they perceive these differences in you, and maybe, just maybe, they think a little less of you. Maybe they wonder, you, with your blue coat, what has happened? And are you maybe missing something in your life? Well, come here, sir.
Okay.
Take a swig.
Roll a charisma check. Or do you have a bluff skill or something like this?
Yeah. I've got performance skill, and then I have deception as well.
Oh, yeah. Roll either one of those, I think. That'll be fine.
11.
11, okay. I'm going to roll against this guy. It was a good speech, I think. I just realized I didn't have my dice out. These ones here. Okay. So this guy rolling with a hard 7 here, he is definitely believing your pitch, and he's like, oh dear, and you can see him kind of slowly reach his soiled hands up to his soiled face, and you can kind of feel the lines starting to form on his face. And yeah, he does claim to be a young guy, but he looks like he's been worked hard in his years. So he's receptive to your pitch, and he says, well, what is that? What are you drinking there? And as you open your mouth to reply, we are going to move to another character here. And actually, we'll wait. We'll wait to introduce that character. So I'm going to flip back to top of the order. I'll say, Langdon, it is your turn. Halt! Who goes there? Declare yourself, sir.
Langdon Alger. I am a land surveyor, servant of the Duke of Winchester from the homeland, on a mission to survey some land for potential purchase. I have all my papers in order.
So one of the guards steps forward. He inspects your papers and he says, "Very good. Right this way. Let's get you something cold to drink and get your feet warmed up." And so, two soldiers sort of motion and they lead offward along the wharf here. And as you walk by, you see a stack of kind of several sacks of grain and some crates, some other goods that have been offloaded onto the dock. And these guards appear to be kind of taking special attention to guard this little cluster of sacks and otherwise pretty nondescript goods. You walk along the wharf here and you see a stone walkway that leads past a churning water wheel and up a set of stone stairs here. So I'm presuming.
Can I want to whisper to one of the guards, or not whisper, just like sort of casually say to one of the guards that I saw a couple of goblins vandalizing the watch post coming in, or like the lighthouse thing coming in, and that
the guards turn and in surprise they look and they say, oh shit, like the light's out. Like what the hell's going on here? And as they do this, we're going to switch to Jerry's turn. And Jerry, you are there rigging up your boat to the launch here, and all of a sudden you hear a commotion behind you, and you see coming down the river where you just exited a barge loaded heavy with timbers. Coming down, presumably unaware of the danger that's been, whose working has been, vandalized.
Is it like on the path to like run into the dock?
It's on the path to run into those rocks. And
Okay.
you see a frantic character kind of at the head of this barge, and he's got a long pole that he's using to steer this load of logs. What's your move there, Jerry?
I yell out at him. I say, "You there? Is he within shouting distance?"
Yeah, he could hear you shout.
I say, "You there? Watch out for the rocks. The light is out."
Okay, so he pulls up here, and you can see that he is desperately kind of trying to put his little pole out and kind of steady himself, but he looks like he's going to have a collision with the rocks. And so we will move to back to mid-sentence here. Professor, I forget his name, Doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Cumberbund.
Dr. Cumberbund is applying some liniment to this concerned young man's face.
I think that maybe a more perceptive person might notice that this guy is probably a plant that the good doctor has paid off to be in the crowd, or at least
so
got
I'm
him
gonna
maybe.
give this guy I'm going to give this guy a roll to see how well his performance is as your plant, to see if he's convincing anybody else in the crowd. And 13. So he's like, oh wow, that feels, I can feel it. It's really tingling. That tingling action you mentioned earlier is really it's really noticeable. And a few more people start to kind of gather around this little crowd. You can see this dark-skinned young woman nearby. She walks up, and then there's another kind of heavily armored dwarf figure that kind of is creeping his way there, but pretending not to be creeping his way there. As if he's actually disinterested. And we're going to go back to Langdon here. And Langdon, you can see this unfortunate-looking half-orc figure kind of desperately trying to, poke his little stick out and stop his advance towards the, towards the rocks.
I'm gonna let it happen. I'm gonna just keep walking over towards the inn and walk through. Like, I'm gonna go examine what the crowd's up to.
Okay, so you walk past, you turn unconcerned with the mayhem that's unfolding behind you. You, as you rise the stairs, the guards kind of move and they push this dwarf a little bit closer to the pitch. And you walk past a little lever.
Wait, are the guards like leading me that way?
Well, no, they're running towards to try to convert this disaster.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, they're totally dismissed. I would definitely dismiss them, but it's not my place to try to save this.
So
dude.
go ahead, it's your move.
Cool.
They rush back down because they want to try to prevent this disaster.
And then I'm gonna walk through the crowd and push that dwarf a little forward.
Okay.
So I can see what all the commotion's about.
So as you move forward, you hear some street charlatan kind of bearing his wares in a little cart, a little pop-up cart, and he is holding aloft a bottle of some mysterious green liquid and kind of touting the various benefits. And he's got this barefooted guy in a blue shirt nearby that's dumping this stuff on his face and kind of, he's having him swish with it and spit it out, and he shows everybody how clean his teeth are now and this kind of stuff. And so we'll take it, unless you want to stay and watch the pitch. Are you interested in the pitch there?
Yeah, I'm interested to continue to watch the pitch.
Okay, so you turn and you take note of this figure and go ahead. Make your spin there, sir.
Available for a limited time here in town. Look, you'll see the clean and uncavitied nature of his teeth. And just a quick rinse through his hair, you'll see a youthful luster and shine that brings not only body, but a very attractive sheen to what was previously dull and lifeless hair.
And what of the scent?
But doctor, a potion such as this has to be hundreds, maybe tens of hundreds of gold pieces. This is your plant talking.
Up until now, it was. But I am a gracious man, and I'm looking to make my way just as all of you have, though I possess a powerful secret. And the equipment that I brew this secret potion with is available to all of you for just 1 gold piece.
Well, I'd certainly pay a gold piece. Count me in for 3 bottles.
Done deal. I'm gonna pass him.
Give him 3 gold pieces into your hand there. What is your name again?
Cumberbund. Pettyfox.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty obviously fake name that he came up with. So.
Here you are, Dr. Cumberbund. I'll take 3, and that's what that first guy says to you. And we're going to roll for the dwarf. The dwarf is definitely interested in your pitch, but the dark-haired woman is disinterested. The dark-skinned woman, rather. So the dwarf comes up and he says, oh yeah, well, I'll take a bottle, I guess, and he tosses you a gold piece.
Okay. Deal.
And we're going to cut back from this scene to the dock where disaster is imminent to unfold, and we see Jerry there. What's your move, Jerry? How can you prevent this disaster from happening?
I mean, I don't really know what it is I can do. I guess as I'm seeing this, can I start? I want to get my inventory off the boat and then maybe try and take the boat out so that guy has another.
Okay, roll a dexterity check for us, okay?
All right. A 12.
Okay, so you figure if you jet your boat out, you can maybe absorb a little bit of the hit and maybe act as a bumper so that this thing just doesn't go straight into the rocks here. Or maybe you can kind of bring your boat and help kind of, using kind of your brake, you can kind of help cushion him in. So you manage to toss 2 of your crates onto the dock before you judge you just don't have enough time. You jet back and you kind of press up against the this boat as this barge is coming in. You kind of help the brake, and I'm going to give you another just straight dexterity roll, and you guys are going to roll together here to see if you can bring this thing into control. I rolled 14.
I rolled a natural 1, so I got a 3 altogether.
Oh, so you you pull this thing back, but it kind of shoots into this little underhang under these rocks and gets kind of lodged. And this thing goes screening forward, but he does manage to narrowly bring the barge under control, and it parks itself neatly within the dock, kind of taking up your parking space, so to speak.
That's all good luck.
And so he drifts past you, and you see this guy pops up and he says, hey, are you okay there, stranger?
Is my boat under control, or am I in danger now?
You're not in danger. You just kind of caught yourself temporarily in the rocks here. But you do see that there's 2 little, crates up here that you could potentially grab.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I've got the boat under control now, friend. That's the way she goes sometimes. You go ahead, go ahead and get everything you need unloaded.
He says, "Oh well, thanks for the heads up. I think I would have been a cooked goose without you there." And he starts to unload the stuff, and you collect these 2 crates, and you can add them to your little wares there. And you kind of row your boat around, you get under control, and the guy's there on the dock to meet you, and he offers to help you unload your stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and get it all unloaded and tied off, I guess. Then
Okay.
I think what I was basically just kind of planning on inventorying my supplies.
Sure. Okay, well, I'm going to move back to Langdon and Cumberbund here. And Langdon, it's your turn.
Let me see one of those bottles there, son.
Oh, well, not so fast. There are only 6 remaining.
Not so fast. I'm a customer. I'd like to see one of those bottles.
Perhaps you'd like to test the effects for the crowd here.
I'd love to test the effects for the crowd. You gave, I've been feeling a little wary from my journey down here. I could use a little bit of revitalizing.
Oh, you look like it. Yes. You look very worn down. It must have been a long travel.
Well, with the boatswain that I rode with, it was very long indeed.
But it's not just
Come
that.
on now. I don't have all day.
I'm thinking that maybe Langdon is a little bit more with it than the other of the rabble. I'm gonna give him one of the actually healing potions that I've got.
Okay, so Langdon, you take you see this. He hands you this green bottle potion, and he pops off the cork for you, and you smell this wondrous kind of citrusy smell, kind of tumbling out of this little stopper. It smells lemony fresh.
My mouth gapes open. I'm dumbfounded. Wow.
Yes.
This is
you smell the lemon and lime and the effervescence.
The Mountain Dew.
Quite. It's astounding. May I?
Well, I'm not just giving this stuff away, my good man. I've got to eat as well.
I'm gonna go ahead and if it works as well as it smells, can I have a sample?
All right, have a swig and then give it back.
I'm gonna give a quick little swig.
Oh, it goes down smooth. It's like it's been stored in the shade. It's nice and cool. It's got a refreshing, bubbly taste, but a little bit of that zing on the tail end. And it really twists your whiskers. And if you had any subdual damage from the cramped boat ride, it heals, and you feel just bright as a bumblebee. And yeah. And you're kind of you're having a peak moment, except for you're kind of perturbed by the grinding of the flour mill behind you here.
This is incredible. I'll take 2.
All right. Listen, well, let me have the tester back.
I give you the tester back. I also give you 2 gold pieces.
All right. So I'll go rustle back in the cart, and I'll bring up 2 fresh bottles. Here, you'd want a full one. So
and
give him 2 of the now more fake bottles, unfortunately.
And I'm gonna say to the crowd, that some men like to peddle their piss away, but this is no piss. This is the real deal.
Okay, so with that recommendation from the crowd, even the skeptical dark-skinned woman comes in, and she says, well, give me a taste of that. And you make your way forward, and you make your way past a little there's basically a large crane arm nearby that you see the entrance to the ale house, and there's a kind of an elevator platform that is hauling goods up to the second story where you presume the warehouse space is. So you go ahead and enter the doors of the ale house. Is that a safe bet there, Langdon?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm feeling a little bit more chipper.
Okay. I guess I'm already there. So you step into the ale house, and a whole scene awaits you. We're going to cut back to that because for now we're going to go back to the docks here, where we have Jerry and his new friend Wilfred are here and unloading these crates. And Wilfred is saying to Jerry, so you just you go up to there and you talk to Francesca. She'll order and weigh your goods and give you credit at the public house.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna walk towards the house like he directed, but I'm going to also. Is he going to be sticking around the docks?
What was that?
New friend, is he gonna stay at the docks?
Oh, I've got to talk to the guards here about my timber haul. They're gonna inventory me and give me credit here, but for smaller, you can go talk to Francesca directly.
Okay, I'm gonna offer him a gold piece to keep an eye on my inventory.
He politely declines the gold piece. He says, "Oh, it's not necessary. You helped me out. I appreciate it. I'll make sure that your stuff's looked over. I'll even throw in a good word for you. See if we can get you. See if we can juice your rate up a little bit here."
Very well, friend. I appreciate it.
And he looks at your boat and he says, "Hold on. Did you row the whole way here?"
I did.
He looks impressed. He says, "Well, you must be tired. I'd say you should go in and get a dinner. Talk to Reinhardt. Tell him you're buds with Wilfred. He'll get you hot to eat, and you might talk to him about getting your boat a little better well equipped. If you're going to be making the journey all the way to the City of Bridges, I don't think you want to be rowing the whole."
Well, I'll do just that. So I'm gonna make
you say that again.
To the house he was talking about.
Okay, so you jump off the dock, you head down, and we're gonna jump back into the public house. So as Langdon enters the public house, he sees a great hall, a great beer hall with a wide kind of wood floor, and as he steps inside, let me get a better view here. Where's my little thing? Here we go. Sorry guys, just a second. All right, you step into Reinhardt's public house here, and you're kind of right there near the little bar, the kiosk. You see a great ale keg nearby, and behind it a giant copper tankard. Looks like a big still used in the brewing of beer. And you see a jovial figure that pops up from behind the bar there. He's a aged man. He might be in his 60s or maybe even in his early 70s, but despite that, he is a vigorous looking sort. And you see the patron here, Reinhardt himself, Reinhardt Klemp. He's got long silvery hair, and tucked behind him against the wall is a gigantic boar spear with a black banner on it. And he steps forward. You can see his rippling muscles and his silver fox chest hair peeking from behind his little gherkin that he's got on. He says, "Welcome to Reinhardt's Public House. Can I get you an ale, sir?"
Gin.
Gin. He kind of scratches his head and he says, "Let me check in the back." And he disappears behind the bar for a minute. And as you scan the scene at the bar, you see over near the bust of some gigantic pig wolf creature, you see a man seated that's doing something at the table here. And Andy, why don't you introduce your character to us?
My character's name is... Oh, hi guys. It's been a while since I talked to you. My name is Simon Brobert. Or at least that's what you think his name is at first. He's a country guy trying to sell his somnium ability for money for his family. His family of 32 children and one wife.
Does he really have 32 children?
That's right.
Damn.
Some are adopted.
Where do they live? Where are his children from?
You gotta do the monologue thing, dude. That's the only
Okay,
way I
I'm
can
doing a
tell.
monologue thing for this guy. He's sitting at the
God
bar
damn it.
here. You got a minute on the clock here. And what is your character's name again?
Simon Brobert.
Simon. This is Simon's talk to himself at the crowded bar near the fireplace. As the fire crackles, Simon mutters under his breath.
Oh shit, what am I even doing here? What the fuck? This ain't me. I'm just a simple country guy. I don't know any of these people. They scare the shit out of me. Look at this big boar head. Oh my god. Fuck. I'm just trying to make some money for my kids and my wife. Maybe if I can sell some of this somnium, I can raise some money so I can feed them. Oh god. Oh shit, I'm so nervous. Oh fuck. What am I gonna do? I need someone to talk to. I need some friends around here. Oh god.
All right.
I'm sweating. My palms are all sweaty. Holy shit.
We cut back to the little market scene here, with a crowd gathered, and Francesca, the dark-skinned, beautiful young lady, is holding out several coins to give to the good doctor, Dr. Cumberbatch.
Mm-hmm. 2 for you.
Say, give me 2 of those, sir. One for me and one for my daddy.
Oh, absolutely. Take the coin.
2 more gold pieces exchanged. And
All right, go ahead. Go right now. Take a swig.
she says, "Well, I'll save it. I have to say this will be more of an investment for me. And I know that my father will be excited to get a little bit of his old fighting spirit back in him. You've done us a good service, sir."
You'll have to hold him back. He'll be fighting like never before. I'm gonna take encourage her to try and goad her on to take a sip.
All right, well, go ahead and make your check there.
All right. 13.
Okay, she rolled a 12 in her opposition, so she says, "Oh, well, I guess a sip couldn't hurt."
Why wait? Why wait?
She pops open the bottle and she takes a big swig and she kind of does everything she can. Her eyes bug out in her head and she makes a desperate attempt not to spit it all out into the air. She goes, "Oh, God, that tastes awful." Said, "But I guess that's the price of feeling good, right?"
Not just feeling good, but looking good as well. I'm gonna smack to the other guy in the blue shirt, smack him on the chest, and check this out. Try to encourage him to marvel at her new beauty.
Oh wow, that looks great. Wow, you're really done it this time, Francesca. Boy, oh boy, that looks really nice. Hey, can I get my money now? When he whispers under his breath at you.
Shut up.
All right, and we cut back to the docks here, and we see, Jerry, and Jerry makes his way up behind the crowd as this is going on. Excuse me. And actually, I'm on my camera here for a second. Jerry, as you walk down the docks, you walk past these two guards, and they're, excuse me, overseeing the unloading, and they're kind of tallying up the lumber on the shipments. And as you go past, you walk past all these sacks of grain. Something wiggles in your pocket, in your vest pocket.
Oh. Is it my shaker's paw?
Yeah, it's your little friend in there.
Okay. I'm going to... I'll make note of it, but I don't want to take it out or draw attention to myself, so I'll...
You feel this little, like, scratching, and it's, like, poking at you. It's, like, trying to get your attention. It's like, boink, 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 boink. And so as you do so are you, like, actively trying to not make a big deal about that?
Yeah, I'm going to try and obscure it, like, keep it from drawing anyone's attention.
Okay, so you got this little wiggle in your pocket, it starts moving, but you kind of move your hand in front of it to kind of cover it up, and you're like, you know, you kind of brush yourself up. Ooh, it's cold in here. And you walk up along the...
hold the textbook in front of it.
Yeah, you hold the textbook in front of it, and you move up and past this little station where you see a control that looks like it... you have a mechanical mind, and you're familiar with, you know, machinery. You see that this is a basic power diversion kind of gear. There's a little mill that's being turned by the river here. It's steadily churning, you know, chunk, 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 chunk as it turns over, and it's running this little gearbox that appears to alternatively grind flour and in this little mill, and it also operates the small platform elevator that loads goods up into the second story through kind of a loft window into this public house, the warehouse space of this public house. So you move up the stairs and you see a small group gathered around a brightly colored little wagon here, and they're throwing coin basically at this figure with a purple feather in his hat. So what's your action there, Jerry?
I mean, is there still a dialogue going on there?
I think that everyone's sort of the dwarf. He's seeing if he can. I think everybody's the crowd's starting to disperse, sort of. But there was this guy's kind of going back and he's counting his coin. This little guy, and you see that he's now talking to his companion in the blue shirt.
Okay. Well, I'll approach the doctor and what are you selling there, Doc?
I say, turn to the guy with the blue coat and try and palm him a couple coins.
Okay, so he takes the coins and he bones out.
I said, thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
You, sir, you look fatigued.
Okay, and we got a minute dialogue. Go between you two.
Oh, I'm quite weary from my voyage.
Yes, you look like you're a little short of breath, perhaps.
Oh, quite. I just had quite the run-in with a barge coming down the river. Completely exhausted now.
I'm gonna bring out a jar. Well, have I something for you? Just a jar, kind of mason jar style, with like a little bit of powder inside, which I'm gonna shake up vigorously to kind of aerate the air. Open the jar and breathe deeply, my good man. Hold it up to his like nose and mouth.
I'll take a big whiff of that.
And how do you feel? Is your breath returning to you?
Woo!
If not, breathe out and breathe in deeply once more. I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and start pressing down, kind of gradually pressing down on his shoulder, trying to kind of weigh him down a little bit. And I say, hold your breath for 10 seconds. And breathe. And I'll let my hand off it. Now, do you feel much better now, my good man?
Oh, much better. And I thank you for that bump.
Do you see how your breath has returned to you?
Well, I'm hoping to get paid in the inn, so maybe then I can purchase some of your goods off you. But for now, I appreciate the little whiff I did get.
Well, maybe we could work out a deal.
Okay.
Maybe I'm a thirsty man. Maybe you could buy me a couple rounds.
And we cut back to Langdon here as Mr. Reinhardt's this robust character pops up with one veiny arm, and he passes it over and he says, "Here, I think this will work for you." And he has an old dusty bottle of Imperial gin. He cracks open the top and he polishes a clean glass for you, Langdon, and he sets it out in front of you and he says, "There you go, old boy."
And I take the glass, I tip him kindly, and I say, "Who's it worth it to speak to in here?"
Well, I think you're speaking, not to toot my own horn, but you're speaking to the most worthwhile guy in the place. This is my place, after all. My name's Reinhardt Clem.
Appreciate your honesty, Reinhardt. What do you do around here? You own this public house.
I do indeed. I own this public house. This is my place. You could say that this is my retirement.
But you're working.
Well, sure. I gotta stay working doing something. I wouldn't call this work compared to my last line of work. This is really more of just an old man's play.
And you own the stall? Do you own the storage up above?
Oh, I own the whole storage house. People come here to do a little trade, have a little drink, try some of Reinhardt's finest ales. And sure, we get a lot of lumberjack types from the camp north. We even get some of the Baron's men from time to time. But mostly it's just hay-bitten farmers and drifters like yourself. And it's just me and my daughter Francesca there. She runs inventory for me. And he points out the window, and he gestures towards a beautiful, kind of darker-skinned young lady who is holding 2 bottles of some strange elixir.
She seems nice and has great taste, I can tell.
She's my pride and joy, that's for sure.
I'm sure she is. She's quite the joy. Tell me about what... tell me about the Baron of this hold. Who is he?
Reinhardt seems to be chewing his words a little bit, deciding what to say. He says, the local law is Julius Gladwell. He's an uppity sort, like most barons are, and we get along fine most of the time. I don't like the attention that he visits upon my daughter, but she is her own woman, and I respect her autonomy in that. Let's just say the Baron and I have an understanding, though recently things are a little bit tense between us.
He's been encroaching on your territories, it sounds like.
I don't know what the Baron's going to do. I worked hard to earn this place. You can see the trophy over yonder near the fireplace that won me the final stack in my retirement fund, and I won't have it be forfeit to some upstart baron who thinks he can dam up the river and stop the flow of goods coming to this place.
I look at his trophy and I laugh and I say, "Seems you may have larger game to hunt now." Well,
you're talking about the Schweinhund, huh? You're talking about the Schweinhund.
Schweinhund?
Yeah, my little friend over there. And with that, we move back to Simon, as he sits under the gaping mouth of the preserved Schweinhund.
the great Danish the bust of the great Danish hell pig.
This Schweinhund's freaking me out. I'm gonna leave. Go to the front door.
All right, so
Go outside.
Simon makes his way through the tavern and over to the door here.
Can I go outside, please?
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Cool.
Right, so
I'm gonna stop him along the way and say, "Hey, you there?" And I'm gonna turn to Reinhardt and say, "A room, please." And
I don't want to spend the night with you. I'm out of here.
No, my bag's up to the room.
No.
And I flip you a gold piece. You look like a man who likes to work. A gold piece to carry my bags to my room.
I sure could use some money. I guess so.
All right, so he flips a gold piece to you, and Reinhardt looks at you knowingly and gestures to you.
To me?
To you, and you've been here for a little while, and or you've been here, for a couple of days. You've got your own room, and Reinhardt passes the keys across the bar there to you, he says, "It's room 3 on the right."
Okay.
And I go take my gin, and I. Is it nice outside right now, or is it?
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day outside. It's a little bit muggy, but you couldn't really ask for a better summer day. Yeah.
Is there any outdoor seating?
Yeah, there's a little bit of there's a little table.
I'm taking my bottle of gin out there.
Okay, yeah. So you actually make your way around the
bar this way, and you step outside into an outdoor courtyard, and despite this little bit of animal smell, there's kind of a nice little area that's fenced in outside the tavern, where it seems like some animals are being temporarily stored, and there's a little apple tree. It's kind of an idyllic little pastoral scene going on here.
I'm gonna climb up into. Can I climb up into the apple tree and sit on a branch, pluck an apple, and drink my gin?
Yes.
That's exactly what I do.
Hold on, I got the wrong camera. Okay. So you move across, and you see, unfortunately, one of your favorite enemy. There's a collection of small and cute farm animals.
Fucking hate animals.
This stack of hay. And as someone who hates animals, you're disgusted basically as you go by them, and you climb up to the tree and roll against failure on that.
Okay. I did. I failed. I got a natural 1.
So as you're climbing up the tree, you fall backwards and
you fall into this little stack of hay, spilling gin all over your face and rousing the ire of several goats and several sheep nearby. Several of which spit right on your person. Hey! Yeah, spit at you. Okay, so we're gonna cut back to Simon here in the bar.
All right, I'm gonna take his bags up to room 3 on the right.
Okay, so Simon, you grab this pack from
I'm
Langdon.
going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
And you move past the giant copper still, and you start to carry the bags upstairs, and you know where room 3 is. Okay, back to our guys here. Whoops. Cumberbund and company.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna close down the cart, and I'm gonna put my various potions and things of value into my little briefcase, carrying case thing. But keeping the goods with me, basically. But close down the cart, and because I'm looking to go inside and maybe either try and get a drink or something to that nature. But yeah.
Okay, you close up your cart, and I'm presuming you have at least some little lock you can lock your card up with.
Yeah, something like a little padlock or something.
Some little padlock, so you get that thing locked up, and you move off towards the inside. And you guys have got a minute to interact if you're going to move inward here.
Well, I'm gonna grab Jerry around the arm. What's your name there, friend?
Oh, I'm Jerry. Jerry Duster. That's the ticket.
Ah, ticket indeed. Well, I'm gonna grab him and face him towards the door. What do you say we grab a drink, Jerry?
Oh, that sounds swell, friend.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find out if you've got that tab started.
All right, so you guys move inside, and as you move inside, you move past the beautiful young maiden with the white hair and the dark skin, Francesca, and she says, "Hey, Mister, do you want me to put your goods on cash or credit?"
Ooh, let's go with I don't know, cash.
She says, "Sure thing. Your gold will be waiting at the. You can talk to Reinhardt about your cash."
Smart man. Always better to go with the cash.
I'm gonna go collect from Reinhardt.
All right. So as you walk past here, you see some of these guys on the dock. They must be buddies with Wilfred because they're carrying up your gear for you. And oh, my battery went out. Hold on. Yeah, they're carrying up the gear for you, and they're loading it onto that elevator platform, and they're loading it up top. And so, as you move inside, Reinhardt's there, and he's taking his notes down. And he says, "Hey, you!" And he points at Dr. Cumberbund. He says, "What did I tell you about coming around here?"
Well, I have money to spend. It's a public...
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see it. You've got quite a debt worked up, sir.
My wife paid my debt. You were merely drunk off elixir last time I saw you. I told you not to have that
come
much.
Forward. He motions for you to come speak with him privately.
Excuse us, Jerry. I'm going to walk up and kind of push Jerry backwards so they can't try and get him out of the conversation.
So Jerry steps backward, and Reinhardt, he kind of covertly pulls you close. He grabs you hard by the front of your clothes, and he says, "Hey, listen, asshole. If you're going to pull this shit out there, you're going to at least grease my palm a little bit. Now I'm tired of you coming around slinging your shit water at us. So you're going to pay your existing tab, and you're going to make it worth my while."
Listen, Reinhard. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to have a good night. All right? I'm going to order lots of drinks, maybe a couple for my friends. All right? And I'll pay you accordingly. And we won't have any trouble.
You owe 10 gold pieces to the house. If you make good on that, I'll pour you a fucking drink.
Do I hear what's going on?
I'll give you a perception check there, Jerry.
Okay. I got a 13.
13, okay. I'm going to roll against it with Jerry's ability, or not Jerry, but Reinhardt's effort to be covert. You don't notice this conversation going on.
Oh, okay.
You don't really pick up on what's the significance of it anyways. You see that they're talking, but you don't see the severity to it.
Okay. Well,
so,
can I
go ahead.
intervene?
Yeah, what are you doing?
So I wanna talk to Reinhardt. I say, "Hey, Reinhardt, your friend Wilfred out there. I helped him save his payload from falling into the river."
Wilfred, he snorts. He says, "All right, well, I'm glad that you helped out. I heard him saying that the light's gone out. It would mean a lot to me if you could find the time to go and light that fire back up. I don't know what's going on with that."
Oh, I think we could come to an agreement. Maybe you could see it in your heart to let my friend and I have a drink beforehand.
He says, "Tell you what, you take care of that lighthouse, that little light setup. You scratch the vandalism off the sign, and I'll call your friend's debts here. I'll call them even."
Oh, well, I'd be glad to help you out, Reinhard, but no need to jab at me like that. Ha ha ha. Debts. Ha ha.
Fucking asshole. Reinhardt goes off, and he. So, anyways, Reinhardt, Cumberbund, you don't know what he's talking about as far as the light and the graffiti. You don't know what that's about, so. Okay, we cut to Simon, and Simon is upstairs. He's unloaded the bags, and he comes back down. Simon, you're there alone with the bags of Langdon.
I didn't want to come back. I wanted to search the bags.
Okay, so you're upstairs alone. You open up the bags. Langdon, what does he find inside those bags?
He finds some clothes, some fine clothes. He finds my book locked, and he finds. Let's see here. He finds the 2 bottles of fake elixir, a lamp, and tools that are also locked.
Okay.
Oh, shit. This stuff sure looks nice and all, but I can't steal from this man. He gave me that gold coin. I better go back downstairs and talk to Mr. Reinhardt.
Alright, so Simon, you make your way back down the stairs, and you move past this dwarf who is sitting there. He looks like he's drunk on some shit or another. So there's another guy nearby, and he taps on the dwarf's shoulder, and they're talking together. And then you see another couple gentlemen, the gentleman with the purple feather in his cap, and some prospector-looking type.
Okay. I was gonna go talk to Mr. Reinhardt, but I'm gonna go.
Mr. Reinhardt's unoccupied. He seems to be yelling out the window to somebody.
So he's occupied?
Yeah, he looks a little occupied.
Okay. Well, I better go talk to that man with the feather cap. He looks like a merchant. Maybe he can teach me how to make some money.
Alright, so you move off that way, and we cut back to Langdon, who is covered in gin, coughing in a pile of hay.
I spring up and I find the nearest lamb to me, and I say, "Look what you made me do!" And I push its face into the ground.
All right. So the dumb animal kind of tries to resist, but its face goes in the ground and it kind of like chokes for a little bit as you brush past it, and you find there's an apple tucked in, kind of lodged in a part of your armor there.
I take out the apple back inside, brushing off all the hay and shit.
Okay. What are you doing? You moving inside, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so you going through the gate, or you going back in?
Back in through the door it came out of, yeah.
Alright, so you step inside, and as you step inside, you see these 2 gentlemen talking, and they're whispering about something.
Yeah, can I make a perception check to see if I can hear what they're talking about?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright. A second. Perception. 17.
So did you hear about what went down at the docks? Well, I heard something. I heard some blabbering about it. Well, that half-orc fella came charging in with his barge half-cocked and almost ran into the rocks and lost his whole load. Well, that would have been a disaster. Didn't he fucking read the sign? Well, here's the whole thing. The guy hadn't made the route before. The sign was all scratched out, and somebody doused out the light, the signal. What do you mean, somebody? Well, I don't believe everything I hear, but I heard it was a couple of fucking goblins. Goblins? What would they have been doing this far south? I couldn't say. Mostly they stick to the moonshine camp, but lately I hear they're crisscrossing all over the place causing mischief. But
And I stick my head in to their conversation, and I'll say, excuse me, sirs, don't mean to interrupt, but I can confirm it was goblins.
Well, you don't say, mister. What would you know about it?
Well, I was on the river right before it happened. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Well,
I was the one who alerted the guards that it was the goblins.
what do they look like? I ain't seen any of those critters around.
Mangy, withered flesh, small, gruesome creatures. You'd know one if you saw one.
Dirty little bastards. I'd like
Looks
to get
a lot
one
like,
underfoot.
and I point to Jerry over there. A lot like him. Bigger ears, though.
I hear that they mostly keep to the woods in their little camp. The Baron has to round them out every once in a while, but it seems like they've got an understanding going on. They stick to their
The Baron and the
camp
goblins
they
have an
don't-
understanding?
Well, that's right. There's not enough law. There's not enough law to really go and wipe them out around here, so there's sort of an armistice going on between the Goblin camp and the Baron's guards.
Could have anything have changed between now and then?
Couldn't see what have. They probably just got too high on their own supply and wandered too far from camp. Little fuckers like that are bound to get into trouble.
Well, that's speaking the truth there.
Alright, whose turn is it? Who's top of the order here? I think we're probably at Cumberland? Cumberland? You guys are talking here, and you've agreed to go and fix the lighthouse situation, the little light promontory there, and this kind of slick-looking character comes up behind you. And we got a minute of three-way dialogue here. Go.
Listen here, Doc. I was born yesterday. I know what you're trying to sell in those elixirs, but I need your help. You see this right here? I'm gonna flash it, the little. I flash him the little. The shaker paw.
Oh, right. I don't know what you're talking about, but what the hell is that?
Yeah, are you familiar with Somnium?
Maybe. I mean, who isn't?
Well, this thing right here, this is a Somnium detector. It'll tell us exactly where the Somnium's at. And when I got off the boat, there's a small mountain of Somnium piled up there right now behind a few guards, and I need your help to get it.
Prove it.
Okay.
That's just some dried old severed hand.
I'm gonna
You
lead
want me
him
to
out.
believe that this has magical powers?
Are you pulling out your little thing there, your little pecker tool there, Jerry?
Yeah, I showed it to Doctor.
All right. So as you pull it out, the thing kind of like worms about in the air, like a like a little automatic digit, and kind of creeps over and points in the corner in the direction of Langdon.
Oh my god. Are you kidding me? That thing works? All right, put it away. Put it away.
Really and truly.
Okay,
All right,
so
put that thing away.
what are you guys gonna do?
Okay, so here's the plan. We've been tasked with relighting the signal on the river. Now, I got a whiff of some of your elixir. How flammable is that stuff?
It depends on which of my fine products you're referring to. Some of them are a little more combustible than others. some just explosion of healing and positive effects. If you get my drift.
Mm-hmm. Well, you pick your most vibrant, the most vibrant elixir you have when it comes to combustion, and we need a patsy. Oh, this fellow will do.
Sirs, my name's Simon. What's your name, sir?
Oh, my name's Jerry Duster, but
Jerry?
you can call me Mr. Duster.
I'll call you Mr. Dusty. Okay. And you, sir?
And my name is Cumberbund. Doctor.
Mr. Dusty.
Doctor.
Doctor. Oh, nice to meet you, Doctor. Well, I need some money, and I was wondering if y'all had a job for me. I can tell you're a merchant type, and well, I don't know what the hell you are, Mr. Dusty, but I imagine you're something.
I don't know, Jerry. This guy. I don't know if he's cut out for it.
Wringing my hands. Oh God.
Now what we're gonna do? Wait, Woody, have I gotten any of my gold yet?
No. You'd have to check with Reinhard or Francesca about that.
Okay. What's your character's name again, Andy?
He calls himself Simon. To you.
Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. The doctor here is gonna hand you some of his famous elixir, and when all is said and done, I'll reward you with 10 gold pieces. But what you gotta do?
10 gold pieces?
Mm-hmm. But you've got to head out to the docks, and you've got to you're going to spill the elixir on the end of the dock opposite the guards, make it scene.
Okay, go to the end of the dock and spill the elixir. That's all I got to do?
We're going to need some way to ignite the elixir. I'm sure there's a torch over there. I've got one you can have.
Okay.
So
how can I trust you, sir? How do I know this isn't some sort of trap?
Well, I'll be back at the house to claim the gold that's owed to me for my cargo load. All you need to do is distract the guard for a few minutes.
Okay.
Hold on, Jerry.
I think I can do it.
I don't know. He looks a little short. I don't think he can pull it off.
All of a sudden, while this is going on, you hear a door slam, and you see Francesca, this beautiful, light-haired, dark-skinned woman. She bursts through the door, and she's screaming at her father. She's saying, "I don't care! Fuck you! I hate this job! I don't ever want to see you again! I hate you! I hate you!" And she storms out the door, but before she goes, she tosses a little sack of coins at Jerry. She says, "Here's your fucking money, you stinky asshole!" And she tosses this little sack of coins at you, Jerry, and she turns and she slams the door and marches out. And you see an embarrassed-looking Reinhard who says, "I'm sorry about that. Count that and make sure there's enough in it. That hot-headed young lady, I can't rely on her lately."
Oh, I'm sure this will do just fine.
And there's 30 gold pieces in that sack.
Okay.
And Langan, we cut back to you. You see this little powwow occurring around the corner here.
I'm gonna... Huh?
Oh, I thought it was still our turn.
I'm moving to Langdon now.
Okay.
I'm gonna thank them and say that's my cue, and I'm gonna stand and walk quickly but poisedly after Francesca.
Okay, so you move past this group of guys and you move out and you see Francesca is already making her way down the stairs near the dock as you kind of emerge from the public house. And yeah, you're right here. And you see her quickly descend the stairs. She looks very purposed. She's crying. And you see her, as she reaches the bottom of the stairs, you see a gentleman of exceptional dress is waiting to meet her, and they exchange a few words before he walks out with her, and they board a kind of extravagant-looking white sort of rowboat, and in the company of two guards, they launch off onto the river and they move upstream.
I'm gonna go down to. Are those guards still milling about?
They are.
I'm gonna go down to those guards and say, "You there, watchman? Who was that?"
Aye, sir. That was the Baron.
That was the Baron.
Aye, sir.
Pretty
I imagine
sorrowful.
you wanted to talk to him.
Oh, I might just like to have a chat with him if he had a moment. I had heard he had been having a goblin problem.
So I'm gonna give
Well,
you.
don't
like a
deny
sense
it. I
motive.
saw them from my own eyes.
Have a sense motive check here.
Me?
Yeah.
1 second. What would that be under? Would that be wisdom?
I think it'd be wisdom. Yeah.
Okay, I got a 5.
The guard says, if there's any problem with goblins, it has nothing to do with the Baron. Maybe Reinhardt should hire some mercenaries or something, keep this place under watch. The Baron can't spread himself thin taking care of Reinhardt's business. He has no
I had heard it
trouble
was
with
the
dam
Baron's
as it is.
business. They're on the Baron's land, aren't they?
The goblins aren't a problem. If anybody's telling you otherwise, they're blowing hot air up your ass.
No one's telling me otherwise. I saw it with my own eyes.
The guard storms off. He dismisses you. He says, get out of here.
All right.
And he moves off, and they stand in front of this collection of bags. And you see the Baron disappearing from view around the river bend, but you catch his eye quickly as he kind of rounds the corner and heads upstream. And he's kind of a depraved-looking sort. He's got a thin brown mustache, long kind of like slick-back hair that's kept in a long braid down his red coat. And you just catch eyes with him as he turns around the corner and kind of sails upriver there. And as you do so, Langdon, there's a commotion behind you, and you see that something's going on over here on the dock. And ironically, you see this guard double over, the one you were just talking to. He's doubled over and appears to be like wincing in pain, kind of grabbing his crotch. And yeah, you got an action.
I'm gonna run up to him and say, "Are you all right, sir? What's happening?"
He's like coughing, and as you go up to see what's going on, make a dex check.
Hard. 9.
Okay, so all of a sudden something smacks against your leg, and you feel a sharp pain as a little knife is protruding from your side of your leg. And a extremely small creature, couldn't be more than 2 feet tall, whizzes past your leg with a bloody knife in hand, cackling maniacally. Fuck you, big boy! And this little goblin is running past you with a bundle of spilt grain and glowing red jewels in its hand, and it slices you in the leg as it moves by for 4 damage.
Ooh, nice.
And you see that the guard you're just talking to is doubled over. It looks like he has the wind knocked out of him, or he got hit in the nuts or something. But he's doubled over. And the 2 other guards are kind of like locked in on each other. They're kind of bumping against each other. and there's another little goblin right underneath them that's kind of in the fray. And with that, I'm going to cut back to the scene back here in the bar. And let's say it is Cumber's turn.
Okay. Well, it looks like we won't need this elixir at all.
Go on, let's check it out. Go out there and try and look at the commotion.
Okay, so do you all exit and go outside?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm a patsy.
Okay,
yes.
You all move outside and you see commotion down at the docks, but you can't really tell what's going on. Do you all, with your turn, choose to move down to the docks?
Oh, say it. Lead the way, Jerry.
All right,
All right.
Jerry. What's your move, Jerry?
What's that?
What's your move?
I want to go. Want to go up to that top stair block and see what's going on.
Okay, so you move out there and you see that there's as you move up to this stair block, a little form is rushing up the stairs at you, and you see this mean-looking little creature with a football-shaped head and green skin as it rushes up at you, and you can see that it's got in one hand a rusted kind of knife made out of an old wood saw, and in the other hand kind of a spilling bunch of spent barley or just cracked barley and glowing red jewels in one hand. And as he gets near you, he thrusts out with a knife and says, "Ah!" He just screams at you, and he attacks you, but he misses. You step aside and dodge the knife. And what's your action?
Holy shit, you little freak! And I'm gonna take out my pickaxe and take a swing at him.
Go for it.
Okay. And I miss. I got a 6.
You swing, and the thing jumps to the side, and he darts under your legs and runs out behind you. And as he goes, you see him flip the switch on this paddle wheel board, and he jumps up and kind of, grinds the last few pieces of movement from this flour mill, and then he hops onto the elevator here, the little grain elevator thing. And with that, we're going to move it to Simon's turn. Simon's turn.
Can I do a perception check on that goblin, I guess?
Yeah, you definitely see this goblin hop up and switch the controls and then jump up onto this thing as it starts to rise up in the air, headed for the bay window, the loft window.
He just attacked my friend. Fucking goblins. I know how we dealt with them on the farm. I'm going to take my Bowie knife out.
Alright, so you pull out your buoy and you gonna move over towards the elevator there?
I hate goddamn goblins. Yes, I am.
Alright, so if you want to make the elevator's rising up, if you want to grab onto it or make a jump to climb up, make a dexterity check.
I'm pretty dexterous. 13.
Alright. So you jump up and pull yourself up onto the thing, and as you do, a sack of flour comes hurtling down towards you and spills on the ground. The goblins pushed it out on top of you, trying to knock you over. But you get up, and you both raise up into the air as you're going up on this crane.
Get him, Simon! Kick his ass!
And
I'll try.
It's Langdon's turn.
All right. Let's see. You said that there's 3 other goblins behind that guard there? Or one?
Langdon, you see one of these guards tumble backwards, and he falls over the mooring, and he falls into the water, splash. And so there's just this. The one guard is bent over that's in pain, and then the other guard is there entangled with this little goblin.
Cool. I'm gonna run behind that to flank the goblin with the guard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pierce the goblin with my rapier.
Okay, make an attack.
Do I get advantage because I'm flanking?
Yeah, we'll give you advantage.
Cool. Probably won't need it. My first one was 23.
Yes, that definitely hits.
Cool. 1 second. 9 points of damage.
Okay, so you spear this goblin right through the back, and like throws its like hands up in the air. He goes, fuck me, Grizz! And he shouts out, Grizz! And then he picks up one of these little jewels he has in his hand, a shining piece of somnium, and he throws it down hard right underneath him, and a great explosion blasts up in the air. Make a dexterity check.
14.
All right, so you duck to the side here, and as this goblin blows up, basically in your face, it goes flying out over the water, and this guard is blasted backwards into this pile of stuff, and there's kind of this like red, mushroom cloud of, like billowing smoke that like kind of magically crackles as it goes up into the air, and yeah, the goblin's nowhere to be seen. This guy is. You guys are both kind of in a heap over here. This other guard, and
was that the guard who was in pain earlier?
Yeah, and then we cut back to Cumberland.
All right. I'm gonna move over to.
There's a shadow over you as this elevator with the other goblin is raising up in the air above you.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to where Jerry is. Woody, did you hear that?
Be losing.
Okay, you're moving over to Jerry.
Yeah.
So you move over
to
Jerry. Near the water wheel and past the mill here.
Jerry!
Whoa,
so,
Jerry!
Jerry, where's the somnium? All right, let the soldiers do the fighting. Where's it at? I thought you knew.
The somnium's over there in that bag. We need to get my boat and bring it around.
Okay, so what's your guys' move? You see this big red explosion billowing up from the docks.
Here's the plan. I'm gonna go get to my boat, make sure it's safe, and when you think the time is right, I'm going to row my boat around, and you run through and grab as much somnium as you can and hop in the boat.
All right. Bring it over.
Okay, so Jerry, it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to beeline to my boat.
Okay, you run past the kind of onlookers on the dock. You brush past, and you jump into your boat here. And Simon, it's your turn. Simon, you are currently battling with the goblin here as you guys are lifted onto the second story, and you near the window to the loft, to the kind of bale loft on this warehouse. And that's going to represent where you are right now. Hey, fuck off! Get away from me! This is mine!
Oh shit, I'm high up. I shouldn't have done this. Fuck. Alright.
What's your move, Simon?
I'm gonna... Well, I got this scary-ass goblin in front of me, so I'm gonna defend myself and try to...
You're on this moving platform. It's basically a wooden platform with 4 pieces of rope attached to a single connector that are moving up to attach to this crane arm. And you guys are floating up towards that locked window.
Okay. I'm trying to give him a kick. Give him a big shove.
Okay. So you can go ahead and attack the goblin.
Ooh, that's a failure. That's a 1.
Okay. Roll again to... No, we're playing that 1 is an automatic failure, so...
Oh,
as
shit.
you go to kick this goblin, you slip backwards and you fall. And you fall and land on a sack of conveniently on a sack of flour that had been discarded there earlier.
Nice. I'm all covered in flour now.
Kind of breaks your fall. Ooh, poof. And there's kind of a little white cloud. And then, now it is, I think, Langdon's turn.
I'm gonna dash over to the guard who just got blown into the big pile of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be saying, "Are you all right, sir?" And well, really, I'm just looking to see what's in the bags.
All right. Basically, as you're looking at this guy, he's going, "Oh, I think I'm okay." He's kind of singed from his front, and he kicks his helmet off. You see that basically there's kind of a red, smoldering ruin where there used to be a bunch of flour and stuff that are sacks of grain. You see that one of the sacks is only partially destroyed, but the others have been blown up, and your guess is that there was some somnium stashed away inside these sacks of grain.
If I reach into the sack that's partially destroyed, what's inside?
Let's do a stealth, let's do a sleight of hand check to, see if the guard notices you reaching into the sack.
Okay. Second. 23.
Okay, so in his dazed state, this guard, as you're miming care for him, you reach behind and you dig into the only slightly molested sack, and as you tear around, your hands come in contact with a few warm pieces of somnium, and you can add 3 somnium to your goods here.
Cool.
And
then I'm gonna
says, get off of me! Get off of me! Oh, he kind of comes to his senses and he says, "Quick, get up! We have to get after those! We have to get after those creatures!"
I'm gonna hold him and say, "You're in shock. He needs help. He needs medical attention." And I'm gonna call over the other guards.
Okay, the other guard come over here, and we cut to.
Cool. No, you're fine.
And we cut to Jerry.
Okay, I guess, is that just where the map ends to camera right?
Yeah, basically things from there will go upriver, like you're on a little tributary off the main river, and if you want to head upriver, you know that's where the lock is.
Okay, I mean, can I row that boat around the logs there and towards the opposite side of the dock?
Yeah, you could do that. You could kind of row around to the over here.
Yep.
Yeah, you do that. This is near where that other guard fell in, and you can see him kind of churning in the water there.
Okay, I'm gonna get that far, and then I'm gonna signal to the doctor. Doctor, what's your name again?
Cumberbund.
Cumberbutt.
Like
Cumberbutt. No.
All right.
Okay, Cumberbutt.
So wait, Simon fell off the thing. He's got the bag.
Yeah, Simon just fell behind you and puffed onto a bag of flour, partially knocked the wind out of him.
Covered in white powder.
Let's see. All right, can I get a little bit zoomed out view?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hold back from going over there.
You see that there's been some explosion, and you're putting the pieces together that seems like the goblins made a rain on some somnium cache.
Yeah.
But there's still a goblin that's whooping in the air above you as it rides this thing up to the top story of Ronhardt's public house.
Let's see. Yeah,
And
I'm
all of a
not gonna.
sudden you hear a cry from above, and you hear a little voice saying, eat shit, and die! And you hear something coming down, and he's throwing a piece of somnium at you. He's throwing a somnium grenade at you. He throws, but you see that he got a critical failure. He throws it, and it explodes right underneath him, and causes the elevator to dramatically, fly up in the air and further explode from the somnium that he was carrying. Boom, boom, boom. You see 2 more explosions, and then just a kind of a rain of red smoke comes down, crackling at you, and little bits of goblin flesh.
I'm gonna run over to Simon, give him a hand up, help him pull him up.
Yeah, I'm still playing.
I'm gonna open up that bag. What's in these bags?
All right, that's a minute of roleplay between you two.
I think there's some serious shit stashed in these bags. Open that thing up.
All right, you open up this bag, and it's just full of white powdered, it's grain from the mill.
Is he talking to me?
Yeah, I was talking.
Oh, I'm covered in this white shit. Oh my god. I kind of landed on something hard though.
Alright, kick around in the grain. There's got to be something in here. Someone's stashing shit in these bags.
All right, make a search check, or make like a perception research or something. Wisdom.
Okay. 14.
All right, as you rumble through, you're gonna find a D4, and I'm gonna roll that of somnium. And where's my D4? Here we go.
What?
2 pieces of somnium. Dig out of these grain sacks.
Sick.
And Simon, it's your turn.
What'd you get out of that bag, sir?
It's all just grains.
Oh.
Make a bluff check or deception.
Wait. 9.
And Andy, you roll with your wisdom here, or intelligence.
Intelligence or wisdom? I guess it's both the same. Doesn't matter. 14.
Whichever one's your stronger. You sense that he's not telling the truth.
You sure, sir?
Have a look for yourself. Feel free to dig through this shit. Yeah, well, I can't find it.
What a dick.
Langdon, back to you.
I'm getting all the guard and pulling them over and making a fuss with this guard who I'm very sure is injured.
So they all kind of huddle in here, and they say, "We've got to get this guy back to the manor."
And then I step back and can I make a perception check to see what else is, like, if I notice anything else is going on, like with this guy on the boat here?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Ooh, I got a 21.
Okay.
Maybe higher. I don't know. I got a 19, and I know I at least have a +2 in wisdom, so.
So you're getting a little bit of a stink here, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to you, but everybody involved in this situation right now seems insincere. The injured guard, like, all of a sudden, everything kind of stinks to you, and you feel like you're kind of like watching something that's been choreographed. That's basically the sense that you get. And then the guards kind of start making excuses, and they say, "We got to get this guy off. Tell Reinhardt that you can talk to Reinhardt about the border beating business, and we're gonna get back to the manor." And they basically start to depart, they load up into their little thing, and they kind of march off into the woods behind the brick house, and they look like they're headed up to the up bank to the manor. So they kind of fuck off, basically.
That's fucking weird.
Under strange circumstances. And then you're left there kind of holding your nuts in your hand, and with Jerry staring at you from the boat, kind of bobbing up and down. Jerry.
Well, what do you want, Boatswain?
Oh, I'm just, just making sure those goblins didn't have any escape route. And what with the guards gone and whatnot, I think that protecting this precious cargo has now become our responsibility.
I don't think the guards have any interest in this cargo anymore. I think if we want to find the cargo they're protecting, potentially in cahoots with the goblins, we should follow them up towards the manor. Just a sense I have. I'm a people person.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I suppose there would be no hurt in stockpiling all this loot on my boat.
Far be it for me to tell you what to do with your time.
Okay.
If you think this grain is blasted grain is so valuable,
I'm going to tie off my boat next to the bags there and start loading them onto the boat.
Okay, so you start to kind of hoard up what you can piece together of these goods. We'll say that you got 2 crates of trade goods that you can salvage out of this stuff, and if you want to get more particulate than that, you could probably get some scraps of jute or whatever kind of stuff these flour sacks are made of. But you notice that there is no, at this point now, your little thing in your pocket is pointing towards this character, pointing towards Langdon.
And I head back to the public house. I'm not sticking around to watch him load up his fucking boat.
He makes his adieu and he heads back to the public house. And on his way there, he walks past this Dr. Cumber is brushing the flour off of this Gentile man from the country.
So, I notice the hand isn't pointing at the bags anymore, it's pointing at Langdon?
Correct, yes. You notice that.
Oh, okay.
And you think that probably, a good deal of whatever somnium was cached there blew up in the process, but at least some of it is walking away with Langdon. And Dr. Cumberland and Simon.
Well, that was a
You sure you
a
didn't
brave
take nothing
act.
out of that bag, sir?
Nothing at all. No. Let's not talk about the bag anymore.
That was a brave act that you performed there.
I try
Maybe you can help
sometimes.
us out
Daddy
after
always told me to kill all the goblins I saw.
Really? All the goblins? That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
there were tons at the farm. I'm usually good at kicking them.
Well, maybe we'll get another chance.
My God,
I
these
sure
big
hope so.
boots.
Doctor.
And as you all are there assembled, Reinhardt bursts out of the public house with his great spear in tow, and says, "What the hell's going on out here?"
Reinhardt. It seems the Baron's goblin problem has been getting worse.
Goddamn little bastards! I hate those little perverts.
Why haven't you done anything about it with this weapon you have here?
He motions. He's like, "Oh, you mean this old pig killer? I tell you, it serves just as well for killing goblins. That's for damn sure." And he says, he says, "I've always hated the little bastards. They don't bother me much. Sometimes they try to hawk their moonshine around a nice, decent establishment trying to sell a quality malted beverage. But mostly, let's just say I'm discouraged by the Baron from trifling with goblin folk. He says it's the duty of the guards, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's an affront to his manhood or something."
Well, he seems to be affronting your manhood with these little men.
Hey, did you either? I'm sure this is all important, but did any of you see where my daughter went?
No?
Any of you? Anybody?
She left through the front door, sir.
Yeah, she stormed off this way and she's all upset and doesn't like him anymore and blah blah blah. He's kind of mumbling to himself as he walks out past the dock looking for Francesca.
The man sure does have a concern about his daughter. She's a free woman, but he seems to want to keep her bound.
Well, that's the way with fathers, I guess. Let's go have a drink.
Sounds like a good time.
You enter back into the meat hall and settle in for some dinner and some relief and to rest yourself from your travels. And we'll call it a night of gameplay for that, and we'll resume next time. Oh,
Nice.
Okay. Thanks, dude.
Nice. Yeah. Dude.
Nice.
All these minis and everything are fucking awesome.
Thanks, yeah, these sets are amazing.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I'm gonna take us off the air.